Hello everyone, and how are you today? Welcome back to my December daily 2022 series of videos. Today I'm sharing with you my day number 3 spread, and this spread is called Letters to My Family. So every year I like to write letters to my immediate family. So this year the letter is going to be to my husband, my son, and myself. Our dog Zoe recently passed away, so last year I did 4 letters, but this year it will be 3. So that's a change in December daily this year, and what I plan to do is write these letters out. I use Canva with my favorite font, Special Elite, and I am cutting them down to fit the 3x8 transparencies from this year's transparency set. I really love these transparencies, and I really wanted to use them in my album, so I just cutting off the holes on the side and using them as backs to the letters as opposed to using cardstock or pattern paper. And so I'm just using these circle labels as well from this year's offerings from Ali Edwards, as well as these adhesive wax seals from Sahin Designs, and this red letter as well from this year's December daily offerings to simply embellish the letters. And then I'm going to glue them to the acetate dividers, which are now backs to my letter. So I'm just putting the initials of our names on each letter, and I like using my favorite tweezers for that. I've had it from the beginning of my planning days, and it's last all these years. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting down, I think it was 2.75 inches in width and about 7.5 inches in height, so that they can fit with about a 0.25 inch all around 0.25 inches within each what would you call that, the length and breadth of the acetate. And so yeah, I'm just repeating this for each letter. I love having the repeated elements in this, and it'll make it a simple spread to put together, and today felt like the day that I wanted a simple spread. Initially I did create a foundation page which had the window cards from last year, and I wanted to document the 3 gifts that I was going to give to my husband, my son, and myself. But I decided to push the story, or maybe it may be an addition to this process that you're seeing right now, simply because I haven't quite decided what I'd like for my husband and myself. My husband likes experiences versus things, and so I'm trying to find a really great experience. And for myself, I just want too many things. But I do have my baby's present, so I guess until I could fill in those components, this will be my day number 3 spread. So these letters work through quite quickly. Initially I wanted to use the frames, but then I realized that the frames, at least for one of them, the gold board on the left hand side was either touching the holes or over the holes. It would not have been even all around if I cut them down. So I decided that I would just use the pattern transparencies for this purpose, and I like how these 3 look together with the various patterns and colors coming out. I think they're really cute, and so I'm going with these 3 So I'm just now going to cut down the holes, and I'm really careful. I'm trying to see if they have any plastic film on the back, but it seems fine. And I'm careful to cut it very close to the holes as possible so as not to lose any millimeter or nanometer of space, because I want as much as possible. And so yeah, I'm gonna glue this down. I feel like it's a really nice way to add a backing. Like usually we would do pattern paper or cardstock, but I thought it was really cool to use acetate, and especially because there were so many really nice patterns in the set, and of course because I have it already and I didn't use them for any foundation pages so far, and so I really wanted to challenge myself to use my stash. And I'm actually extremely proud of all the things that I've been using so far. I have been enjoying creating my foundation pages, and now that December is here, creating actual pages, and that has been a shift for me because for the past few months I have been focused on foundation pages. And so coming into December 1st and creating my first spread for the day, and then I wanted to move on to another page that I haven't quite made yet, foundation wise, and then I had to kind of shift my thinking and tell myself, well, hey, no, let's just do one story a day. Let's not complicate ourselves. Let's slow down a bit. Let's just enjoy adding in photos and journaling. And so I have been doing that, and I'm really excited about everything that has been happening. So once I have all the letters glued down to the acetate, I just leave those to the top part of my desk to dry, and then I move on to making this envelope. Now at first I wanted to make a 6x8 felt envelope. It would have been probably 6 inches in depth by 9 inches across, but I just didn't like how it was looking, and so I said I would start off with I was going to do a cardstock envelope, but eventually I remembered that I really loved this vellum paper and I really wanted to use it for something remarkable. I was hoarding it pretty much, and at first I chose another piece of cardstock which I probably would use for another project, and then I remembered, what, let's just stop hoarding and go for it. So I am using the 123 punch board for this. They have envelope sizes up to just really huge envelopes on this board, and so it was perfect for me for this project. I ended up using a 6.5 by 8.5 size, so that required 11 7/8 by 11 7/8 piece of paper. So this was perfect because it was 12 by 12, and it was the closest envelope size on the chart for 12 by 12 paper. So I'm just really following the instructions here to make this envelope. This is the first time I think that I'm using this board for an envelope. I usually use the Works all-in-one tool for the envelope. So I'm just being really careful to ensure that I don't puncture my paper and just taking my time, because I love this paper so much and I really didn't want to make any mistakes, because with vellum it tears so easily, and if you score it wrong you can see it because it's it's such a thin paper. So I was just taking my time through this process and making sure I had everything lined up well, that once I felt more confident with the board, I felt more confident going forward and making the envelope. And so I'm just punching out the seams. It really allows for a very smooth envelope to be formed, and then I'm just gonna put the corners through the corner roundup punch, and then I can just use the bone folder to fold along the score lines, and that would be the envelope. So this came together quite quickly as a project, and I love every bit of craftiness, from long complicated pages to very simple pages, and this is one of the pages that I am very happy with, and I am ecstatic that it came together quickly, especially since it was a fill-in story for today. And so once I have these in, I'm just making sure that the letters line up properly, and I decide that I want to cut down that middle flap, and so that's what I'm doing here. I'm making sure that I cut it exactly in line, because if I cut it too short, then you'd get the sides of the envelope peeking out, which may not have been too bad, but considering that I didn't want that middle flap, yeah, I just wanted to get them perfectly done, and I used some double-sided adhesive to adhere the sides down. And then, yeah, once I have the two sides adhered, I can just stick my letters in and then embellish the front of the envelope. And so I really, again, my trusty tweezers, which has been with me for a very long time, but I really love this paper, guys, and I am really enjoying the fact that I'm using my things. That's one of my challenges to myself, and so now I just wanted to use this big plastic Mary from the main kit this year, and then some letters to spell Merry Meal, and I just wanted to use a couple of embellishments, nothing, you know, overly excessive, but just keep it simple, because I love the paper and I love the letters themselves, and I just wanted that to shine through. I am attaching this envelope directly to my album using an acetate tip-in, or, you know, it's about a 1/2 inch thick with holes punched in and an adhesive side. So I'm attaching it directly into the album, and I'm using these rose gold alphas from Citrus Twist Kits to spell mail, and this star ornament type thing from last year's December daily. I actually didn't use any of these last year, I think, and I did pick up a few in the sale because I like them so much, and I have used them at least in 2 spreads so far, so I'm really proud about that. And I'm using some foam dots to just put this together to give it some lift, and then in the end I decide to still use one of the 3D Santas to embellish the top of the star, and then that is it. So I'm really happy that you guys are here with me today. Thank you for joining me for today's video, and I hope to see you around for the next one. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to comment below with any questions. Thank you so much. Bye.